are these rebels in Libya anyway? The fighters benefiting from U.S. military power. CNN's Reza Saya asked them.
Just last month, they were civilians, all ages, all walks of life.
My name is Wissam.
22-year-old Wissam was in college. Ahmed is 32, a husband, father, an engineer. 18-year-old Idris was a student studying business. Today, they're amateur soldiers in the rickety rebel army of Libya's opposition, united, they say, by one mission: to topple the regime of Muammar Gaddafi.
I come to here in Benghazi after I saw Gaddafi dictator. He killed my people here. He killed Libyan people without any reason.
I want my country is free. I want freedom for my country.
Reza says the opposition's leadership is just as much a hodgepodge as the fighters. 31 people made up of politicians and military leaders who've defected, along with those lawyers, doctors, and academics. So we want to talk more about the rebels with General Wesley Clark. General, welcome.
Thank you.
General, you saw a few of these rebels. They're sort of a motley bunch. Who's to say some of them aren't as brutal as Gaddafi's forces? Is that just a risk we take?
I think that is the risk we take. We know there are a lot of good people in there. We know there are people who have been educated in the West, some who professed a desire to put in Western-style democracy. We know there are some who are strong believers in a religious role in government and religious values in government, some who believe in secular values. We also know that from eastern Libya, a large number of young men went during the years 2003 to 2007, 2008, they went to Iraq and they fought Americans in Iraq for al-Qaeda. A lot of these people were killed. Maybe some of them came back. Maybe they're fighting against Gaddafi.
Okay,
We're not sure.
So that's disturbing, what you just said.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Secretary of Clinton, she says no decision has been made on whether we should arm these Libyan rebels. With all of what you said in mind, should the United States or the coalition arm these rebels?
Well, I think the most important thing right now is that we put in the assistance that's required to help them form a government. We have U.S. and international organizations that help with this, like the International Republican Institute, the National Democratic Institute.
But is that one step ahead? Don't you have to arm the rebels and, like, stop the civil war before you do that?
No, actually, I think the most important thing is to figure out who's in charge there and help them set out a political platform, because there is momentum against Gaddafi now, and Gaddafi's forces are going back, and this momentum will continue. So rather than pouring arms in, which would take several days to make any difference anyway to get to the rebels, and having to put trainers in to explain the use of the arms, that momentum is going. As the rebels move to the west against Gaddafi, I believe they will pick up momentum. And therefore, if I were advising behind the scenes, I'd be suggesting that this is the time to really work with the government. I understand Qatar has just recognized this opposition movement as the legitimate government of Libya. So I would think we need to be working with the government at the political level before we start pouring arms in.
General Wesley Clark, thanks for being with us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
There are new